So bike made it, I made it, we're good. I got a lot of things to share, but I'm kind of overwhelmed right now. I'm just really happy that I did it and that I was able to do this type of experience. There's not much I can pull together right this moment. So at the end of that video of me at Weiser Depot finishing the bike tour, that was a pretty big moment for me. I've never done anything like that before, and especially that last 2 days where I was by myself, that was a huge victory for me. And after I turned the camera off, I just sat there and I cried for several minutes because it was just powerful to have been able to do something like that and to get up the courage to do something like that. You know, not everybody is equipped with this sense of adventure. Some of us have to push ourselves into it. And I'm definitely one of those people. So it was a very pivotal moment for me and kind of catapulted me into a lot of different areas that I want to get into. So let's talk about my setup and the gear. You know, I'm not big on having fancy gear. I think you could just go out and do bike touring with what you have. I will say it's all about comfort. So if you want to have added comfort, then you buy the more expensive things. There were a couple of things that I did spring on, and there were other things that I was just like, nah. Like, I used garbage bag as my stuff sacks because, yeah, who needs stuff sacks? All right, so when it came to things like my sleep pad, I went bulkier. It is hefty. I mean, if you look at this thing, it's probably one of the bigger ones you see. But the whole reason why I got this one over other ones is it's a combination. So it does have some cushion in it, and you also push air into it. Because I felt like I needed that, and it's been a great pad. I don't mind. It's either on the outside of strapped on my bike, or when I'm backpacking, it's on the outside of my backpack. So it works fine. Okay, so I've probably mentioned this before, but my bike is not special. It is just, it's one that I got off Bikes Direct. It looks high-end. It is not. It's got pretty basic components on it. I will say it does have disc brakes, which I love, especially for rain and winter. So the bike, it's a Motobecon Torino. It's a really basic kind of bike, and it does the job. So I don't have any fun tires on it. I don't have Schwalbe. I did have a tire issue though, so there you go. I do want to get really nice tires eventually, but for now, those worked. I know how to change a flat. We're good. Okay, so my rack, literally nothing special. I just got it at one of the local bike shops. Pretty inexpensive bike shop, actually, comparably to some of the higher ones. All right, so all of my neighbors' dogs decided to bark in unison now, so you're gonna hear some dogs barking in the background. I can't help it. Sleeping bag, you heard me talk about it a little bit in the videos. I used a Marmot 45-degree bag. It's synthetic, so if it got wet, it was cool. But I liked it. It's great for warmer months. I really can't use it in late fall or early spring. All right, so the one thing that I did spring for is I got the Ortlieb bags because, and I'm so happy I did. You see on the back of here, the ability to take the bags on and off really easily and quickly is well worth the price for me that I paid for these. And and it's waterproof. So I really love these bags, and they did their job. These bags is everybody that I know that has these, they last for decades. So it's an investment. And if you saw my beginning bike touring video, you know that I try to do my own makeshift bags. I try to put my little engineering brain together and kind of created my own system using dry bags. Did not work. Dangerous is a good word for it. So I didn't take a lot because Suzanne had the tent and the cook system. I mean, I carried some of that stuff, but she had the system. So I just used hers. Although now, I am now fully equipped to do backcountry style bike touring. So I am completely 100% self-sufficient now. That's how much I've changed since this first tour that I'm showing you some of the gear I used. So gear, I didn't wear anything special. I just wore mainly athletic gear, and I did wear my bike shorts. So yeah, that's about it when it comes to gear. I'm not a gearhead, so yeah. Oh, there's who keeps me grounded, my little beagle. Here are some final takeaways on the Ohio-Indiana tour. First, I think we did a pretty good job with routing. I will say, I mean, I was meticulous about seeking out other routes that people had on things like Ride with GPS and just other sources. But I also, I play around with Google Maps a lot, and I get right down to Street View, see what the road looks like, see even what the shoulder looks like. I'm pretty meticulous when it comes to that kind of stuff. So the route was pretty good. Yeah, we had to go down some crazy roads that I complained about, but that's going to be true in any bike tour that we do or that you do. I mean, it's just, unless you're on trails the entire time, you're going to have to deal with roads that you're not comfortable with. So that's one big thing I learned. The second big thing I learned is Ohio has awesome trail systems. I love your state when it comes to trails. Y'all know what you're doing. The trails were great. They were rail trails or river trails. I was kind of sad we didn't get to do the Creekside Trail because I kind of really wanted to experience the Creekside Trail. And then, so when I got on my own, the country roads that I took to Indiana to get onto the Cardinal Greenway, those were pretty good. I mean, I think I picked a really good route. I picked really quiet roads. Originally, I had a kind of a state highway that had a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit as my route. I rerouted over to some quiet country roads, and you know what? I felt safe. I was able to just cruise and stop what I needed to, and it worked out perfectly. So routing, I think we did a good job. Trails, awesome. I think that this first bike tour really taught me flexibility, that, you know, you've got to just be open to what your day brings you, because I'm a planner, and if you're a planner, it's going to drive you nuts the first time you go bike touring, because you can't plan everything out. Sometimes you just gotta ride the wave and figure it out as you go. And that's the thing I love, because it gets me out of that, because I do that all day long with work and life, and so it's great. The other big thing that I take away from this is that I can do things solo. And I'm not afraid to do things solo anymore. I'm gonna try a lot of bike tours solo. There's a lot of this country that I would like to see, and I kind of would like to do it on my own in some stretches. The other thing is when I am traveling with people, because maybe it's just because, you know, I'm just used to, you know, being on my own and doing my own thing, but I want to always take my own sleep, my own tent and things. It was nice to have a shared tent for the weight, you know, not having the weight. But at the end of the day, like, your tent is your sanctuary. And if you're sharing it with somebody else, you're more worried about them and, you know, waking them up, or, you know, having to go pee in the night or something like that. And it's just something that I just want to just cut that worry out completely, because I tend to think about other people all the time, even if that maybe isn't what they're thinking. So so I'll always bring my own sleep system. So that's one of the big things I learned. The other one is how freaking awesome bike touring is. So bike touring is awesome, and I can't wait for the next one. So yay. All right, so what was next after this first bike tour that was so important to me? I actually had 3 that I wanted to do this year, but COVID-19 happened, and yeah, none of them happened. So the big one that I had on my plate was I was doing the Gap CNO. I actually already had my Amtrak ticket bought to roller on into DC and ride from DC to Pittsburgh. I mean, I had it completely mapped out to do it in May. And yeah, just like everyone else, that plan was shot. So as soon as this pandemic subsides, this is my next bike tour. This is it. I've wanted to do this one for a long time. It's a dream trip, and I'm going to make it happen. It'll probably happen in 2021. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. I do have a bike overnight coming up. So you'll probably see a video on that. I'll try to get videos a lot quicker than these videos that I've done on the Ohio, Indiana tour. Sorry, the pandemic happened, and it just, yeah, life happens and work happens. So, all right, so now you have my final wrap up. So we're good. The Ohio one's done, even the post wrap. All right, so since that just amazing bike tour that I honestly am now addicted from the start, but I haven't been on another bike tour. COVID really kind of squashed those ideas. I have been getting out, and I've been doing a lot of fun things. They're just more focused on the hiking aspects and just general exploring. I did not feel very confident or safe traveling, on my bike, having to depend on communities. It's not something that I wanted to do. So I've been focusing on other things like hiking and backpacking and finding unique swimming holes, and I've been doing a lot of hip camps because those I feel pretty comfortable with. Hopefully you'll be able to explore some of that video. So the bike touring has definitely catapulted me into a lot of different areas, and not just bike touring. So I have a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear, and the bike tour helped me kind of squash a lot of that. So it's just, now I'm getting out there and exploring like I never have before. And the fear is still there. I'm still having to talk myself into things, but it's definitely less, and I am not willing to let that get in my way of trying anything. Okay, so the next up for the Denise Looking Out YouTube channel is just a lot more adventures and a lot more of me trying to walk people through what I'm thinking in those adventures, because I think that's more important than showing certain things, because I think there are a lot of people out there that are having the same problems I am. So I just want to try to help people to know that they can get out here and do this too. Look, I'm alone in the woods, nobody else is around, and I feel perfectly safe and comfortable. And it wasn't always like that. So, yeah, so you can do it, and I'm hopefully here to help you do that. So, if you like my content, and if you want to get out there but just haven't gotten out there, hit subscribe and follow me, and we'll do it together.